I'm going to have in the video today a video log of me successfully catching and releasing a giant bluefin tuna off Rhode Island. I'm also going to go over and just kind of incorporate rigging. I'm going to go over things like safety lines, how I have my vessel set up with rod holder placement. I'm going to go over setting drag on these larger offshore reels. I'm going to talk a little bit about tackle and just how I do things. I'm going to get into even making bait, just kind of put the whole day into a video so it's enjoyable. I'm going to cut it back a bit. The fight was right around the 2-hour mark. I had 45 pounds of drag on him when he was up and down. I'd estimate the fish at approximately 100 inches. I'd like to see what you guys have to say in the comments though about what you think the fish was and how large it was. So stay tuned and enjoy. So here's AJ catching some mackerel in the morning. He was not on this trip. This is from the previous day. But we like to go out to the grounds with some type of bait, whether it be mackerel or even small bluefish. Sabiki rigs, guys, very important item when you're offshore. I don't know if you need 60 of them like I have here, but fishing shows and stuff, I'll usually grab a 10-pack like this, and just to make sure they're appropriate sized hook. You don't want anything like minuscule, although it's good to have different sizes in your arsenal. As you see here, I have some really small and some really big ones. I also make them. Where are they? They're probably in the boat. It's good to have various sizes of these. These are kind of one-time use, they're tough to store. You just, I actually catch silver size for fluke fishing sometimes with these. It's good to just have a real good arsenal of them on the boat ready to use. So, very important item. Next time you're at a fishing show or something like that in the middle of winter, remember to look for them. You can usually pick a 10-pack up. They always used to be $1 each. 10-pack was $10. Now they're more like 15 or even 20, but still worth it in the long run of things. And here I am just setting a mackerel in. Like to run something on a balloon and one down deep. Or depending on where I'm marking bait, I usually put one in and around the bait. Just cleaning the leader off. These alcohol pads I use, it's isopropyl alcohol. They're just good for cleaning your leader when you put your fluorocarbon in the water. It's just a little cleaning pad, and you're just going to want to run that just up and down your line. Tape, I have various waterproof tape, black electrical tape. You never know when you're going to need to put a balloon on and make sure it don't go nowhere and it just doesn't slide up and down your line. You're using 2-pound bank sinkers is pretty common. I like to have the bait down and stay down. You have some wind, you have some drift. You saw before in the video that 2-pound bank sinker. I have those right up to 4, and then just right down the whole spectrum I have. So tape is a must. Different size rubber bands, thin ones, thick ones, balloons. You always need balloons. I just have them in black just cause. And we had a mark right in the bottom right when we were setting in. It's always a good sign. It's also always a good sign when the guy that called you in is hooked up. He fought that fish for around 40 minutes. There were fish in the area. Some whales, some dolphin.
Oh, wow.
And we marked bait since the minute we rolled up.
What'd you do with that guy? It looks like a different one. It has bamboo fucking. Right? Thumbs up.
About an hour and a half after that, 2 hours after that, it happened. We got bit. I don't have the hookup on camera, but the fish took a live whiting. Kind of came up top, stayed up top for a bit. Right now I'm just about 5 minutes into the fight. I'm just kind of getting my bearings now. There were boats. There were a couple boats that were close, but I didn't have any issues with anybody. surface. Hit 200 leader. We had 130 out, 150. This was the heavy. I got it written on the side as a reminder, so kind of got him on 30 pounds right now. Kind of a little reminder how much pressure you might want to give him. These reels are Penn 130 International STs on Chatham XLs. Long curved butt, number 6. I have just written on the side here, you see that 200, 150, 130, that's what pound leader is on that rod. I just like that, having that as a reference, so during a fight you can just kind of remember if you got the light leader on or what you're doing. There's about 600 yards of dicron under here, green spot, and I have for the header right around 100 yards of 200-pound mono. These rods are real nimble, real flexible, help a lot with pulling hooks. Got him at 30. He's moving slow. This is day 2. We fished yesterday in some heavy weather. A bit closer to home. Pushed out here today thanks to a tip. What's up, Pat? Just put this is a Lee's bulkhead swivel rod holder. I put it on the liner. It's off the port, and that's where my helm is. My wheel is also slightly off the port, so I just take 2 steps back and I can just be at the throttle or steering. The liner on this boat is 3/8 thick. I cut a plate in here, put a pie plate on it, cut the access in there. I have, that's 3/16 1/4 inch, and behind it I have a slightly wider and just slightly higher piece of aluminum, 2 pieces of aluminum. Kind of wanted that there. All the rod holders on the boat are swivel base. These are just a little shallow zeros. I have a pair of 30s on either side right here. And these ones in the back are deep, but it's not ideal for fighting a fish because you got all this to contend with. You got all these missiles over here that'll just chop your mono off. So I wanted this. Good placement. Works very well. You have a full 180 degree, you can fight off that side of the boat. Just works really good. Deflects a little bit, but it's not bad whatsoever. wanted this a little higher. It's working great. Makes it easy. I can just hop back, hop forward. Starting to tire. I increased the drag a bit. He's got some in him still, but he is getting closer. He's getting tired. So am I. And I'm going to show you how to set the drag on one of these reels. I have these set. Full strike is 30. At the lugs is right at about 20, just for reference. And then full is about 55. I have two scales. I think the one on the right is a little more accurate. Just make sure whatever you use, make sure it's an accurate scale. Test it with a dumbbell. Test it with something that you know what it weighs. It's important. What we're going to do here is I'm going to put this at full strike and we're going to pull, and right when that line starts removing off this reel is when you're going to get your reading. This spool's just starting to move right now. So it's right at about 30. You can go ahead and test it at full. Go ahead and test it at. I have it right at the lugs. If you back it down a little bit right there. Right at the lugs is 20. If adjustments need to be made, you're gonna want to go ahead, put that reel into free spool and either tighten it and give it more tension, or you're going to go ahead and loosen it and give it a little less tension to either bring it up to wherever you want it set at strike, or bring it down if you want it less than, whatever you choose. I just have mine at 30. I know some people that have them at 35, 40. That's just the way I set this up. Doesn't mean that's right or wrong. That's just how I do it. want to go over these safety lines. I have 5 of these. I just have 3 right now. I have them, this is 4,000 pound line. I have it stitched in here. I made these about 20 years ago. I have those braided in, and then I have these clips on here. I know these are strong. I know nothing's gonna go anywhere. It's a safety item, gotta have them. I don't like anything that's crimped. I know a lot of lines have crimps. There's metal with plastic sheathing. I'd rather have this. These are about, they're just over 4 feet long. I love them, I trust them. The line goes in the water, he's about 10 feet past that big black shadow. got him up and down now. Still got some oomph in him. up and down now. Being a little stubborn.
at like 90 now.
Good. Kim?
50.
Deep color. See him? Like whitish. Sorry. I want him on the upwind. See that deep color?
$30.
Right there, see him?
I do.
Beautiful animal. That Jobu got him right, hooked him right in the corner. And I have that length of rope there. That you're gonna see it later. That rope is just shy of 12 feet long. It's 2 6-foot lengths looped together. I look like a kindergartner there trying to throw it around, but I was just fatigued and it wasn't working out. I probably should have put just a loop in it and just slid it down the line. I don't know why I couldn't think of that in the heat of the moment, but. Can't get a length on him. He's more than 6 feet. Oh, he's gonna face, he's gonna stay in his teeth now. I'm gonna cut him. What an awesome fight. Not too sure how big that fish was, but he put me on for, we were an hour and a half plus on him for sure. Beautiful animal. Everything was great. Fish didn't chafe off. Got a good fight out of him. Beautiful creature. That fish ate about an 8-inch whiting.